Majority Leader Peppin, thank you for letting us interview you. Now, this is your sixth term in the legislature, so you've heard quite a few State of the State addresses.
Correct.
Has there been anything that's ever surprised you in something you've heard?
Not necessarily. I've been surprised a few times in how legislators have responded to the governor's State of the State address, but nothing particularly in the speeches has surprised me.
What are you hoping to hear on Thursday when the governor delivers his speech?
I'm interested in finding out if he is open to discussing a transportation solution that doesn't involve the gas tax, which is our proposal. Interested to see if he has thought more about his buffer proposal. And of course, I'm interested to see if he will say anything about any tax relief ideas.
This is your first session as the Majority Leader. Does that change your perspective on the State of the State address and what she'll be listening for?
A little bit, because I'm very interested, of course, to finding ways that we can agree when we come to negotiations at the end of session. So I'll be listening intently to find out if there are areas that we can reach agreement on.
We can expect the governor to talk about free pre-kindergarten for 4-year-olds. Some in your caucus have been critical of the plan and wondering if this blanket approach for the whole state is better than targeting low-income students. What will you be listening for on Thursday when it comes to this subject?
I think that is a concern that I've heard as well, and a concern that I share. And again, I don't know that that is the most effective use of money. I think that we should be looking at targeting the kids that need it the most, perhaps the lower income families that don't have the opportunities, or other ways to reach the achievement gap, as opposed to spending that whole amount on all-day pre-K. And plus, I have some concerns whether or not the schools can actually fit an extra classroom of kids into the existing infrastructure that they have to their buildings.
Now, you already talked about transportation needs earlier, but if you could elaborate a little more. Governor Dayton is proposing a tax package which includes a wholesale tax on gasoline and raising registration vehicle fees. House Speaker Kurt Daudt has said that a gas tax hike is off the table. Do you think middle ground can be sought on this topic, and how can the governor begin to do that during his speech on Thursday?
Well, I mean, I think we've had the opportunity to meet with the governor a few times, and we've asked him to keep an open mind about our transportation policy, and he said he would indeed do that, and I've been pleased that he's been willing to listen. And our plan essentially takes existing funds that currently go towards the general fund, things like car sales, or auto repair tax, rental sales tax, lease tax, and puts those funds towards transportation, which I think the vast majority of people probably already think they do. And so I'm hoping that we have more of an opportunity to talk with him about his feelings on using some of those funds. One of the interesting things after we saw the February forecast is one of the reasons the economy has improved is because the gas prices have gone considerably down, and therefore people have had more discretionary income. So if the governor wants to raise the gas tax by 16 to 22, 23 cents a gallon, then people have less discretionary income, and the effect on the economy won't be as great. So we're hoping that he will look at some of our ideas more favorably.
Typically, we expect the governor to succinctly address what the state of the state is in his speech. What would you say the state of the state is in a few words?
I would just say that we're doing our job in the House. We've successfully put our budget targets together. We're working through the process of putting our bills together, and we're doing so in a fiscally and responsible manner. And so I would say that the state of the House is that we're doing a good job. It's moving along well, and we look forward to continued negotiations with the Senate and with the governor.